Well, this isn't news I expected to hear today. The highly anticipated Five Nights at Freddy's Tales from the Pizzaplex graphic novel collection Volume 2 has seemingly been cancelled. Ebook listings are being taken down, and the status and availability on Scholastic's own website have been changed to cancelled. This is absolutely massive news for the franchise, as it marks the first time in almost 11 years that a book has been cancelled in the Five Nights at Freddy's series. This collection was, as the title says, the highly anticipated continuation of the Tales from the Pizzaplex graphic novel collection, the first installment released only a few months ago. Volume 2 was scheduled to release on September 2nd, 2025, which was not far away. The book featured illustrated adaptations of the Tales of the Pizzaplex stories Pressure, Submechanophobia, and The Mimic. At the time the book was revealed, the Mimic had only appeared in the Fnaf Ruin DLC for Security Breach, so a lot of people were really interested in having the spotlight put on this character again in another format, i.e. graphic novels. Although we now have Secret of the Mimic telling us the backstory for the Mimic entirely, a lot of us are left with questions now over what this graphic novel would have done with the character. Although there is no official response yet about why this graphic novel was cancelled, there is one big glaring issue. It's a little controversy that's been happening recently, and a lot of people were instantly drawn to that as to why this has been taken down. Some pages for this graphic novel leaked. Somehow they ended up on Reddit and forums all over the place, and every single panel was traced. People found sources. They were from Batman, they were from anything you might be able to imagine, and they were traced into these Five Nights at Freddy's characters. They were done very poorly. It isn't unfamiliar for the graphic novel collections in the Fnaf franchise to be called out for redrawing, tracing images before. Like it happened with Into the Pit. I know that was a big issue, but it kind of fizzled out because the book was already out. There's nothing you could do. I believe that this is also the first time that pages from a graphic novel have leaked, so something was clearly changing. It seems like the controversy was becoming a bit too much to bear. The reputation that FNAF graphic novels run on is already quite low end, not only for tracing images, but for the original artwork being a little strange. Not a lot of people enjoy them, and we have no idea, no indication of how well these actually sell. Whatever the reason might be, even though it was only months away, the book will not be releasing, unless this is some major slip up. The book was quite clearly completed, or almost completed. I don't know how long the process takes to distribute something like this, but we're left to imagine now that this is part of a larger issue, and it's something I mentioned briefly earlier on. A lot of people were excited to see how the Mimic would be portrayed in this book, and now we won't see any of it. So, it's a new example of Five Nights at Freddy's lost media. We don't know if they'll end up releasing any of the pages or giving us an indication of how far along the graphic novel was in its creation until now. We can understand that perhaps legally, it's hard for any more of the book to come out now. There is an almost complete Five Nights at Freddy's graphic novel that will never see the light of day, and its status is currently cancelled. That's just incredible to me. I was reading up about Five Nights at Freddy's lost media recently, actually. I was listening to some interesting videos about comic dubs and old videos and YouTube channels and fan games that have gone down, and now coincidentally a book will be joining that sort of roster. It's very interesting. I know a lot of people will probably be thinking on this for a long time. I'll be one of those people. It's just that's really going to annoy me. I mean, I can't say for certain I would have bought it. I do have some of the Five Nights at Freddy's graphic novels, only the novel ones. I do have a lot of the books. I'm just going to have that primal thought. What would it have been like? It's completely lost. Isn't that mad?